Okay, so I'm on Jimdo and I'm getting ready to start my website. So it asks, you just create an account and then it says, what do you want to create? And click a website. So now it's going to ask who you're creating it for. It's yourself, a single individual. And then it's just going to go through and ask you questions so it can create a template that's good for you. It does also ask if you want to code your own website. I only recommend that if you're comfortable with coding already. Otherwise, just start with the template, have them create a template for you. So this is for a personal project or hobby, or might like to turn to a business, established business. So just kind of look and see what fits your goal the best, because everyone's going to be a little bit different. Mine's not going to turn into a business. But it might become an event. So I'm going to click this one. And I'm going to call it my Empathy Book Club. That is my project that I'm working on. So I am going to continue without Facebook. I'm assuming most of you don't even have one, so it's not going to be an issue. So I want to share my portfolio and then perhaps announce things. But if you want to sell, I know some of you have some stuff you want to build and sell, you could use this website for that. So it's about books and reading. How did it know? And I'm going to go, you can pick any style and you can change it at any point. So I think I'm going to start with maybe brush and see, or pastel. Let's do pastel. And then I don't really like any of these together, but we'll start with this one and see. Again, you can change these at any point. I don't need news. I do maybe one about me, gallery. It doesn't really matter because you're going to change the name of these anyway. So I'll call it a portfolio, an about me, and a gallery, but I'm going to end up changing what those are once we get in. But you are going to create 3 pages, so I definitely like this one more. We'll go with that. You can preview and look at it more in depth than just the video, but I think I just immediately like the look of this one a little bit more, so I'll click on it and then hit continue that you want, and you are going to skip this step because it costs money to get like a fancy domain name. So you're just going to click skip. And it's going to load. Here it comes. It's going to look awesome. While this is kind of finishing loading, let's go back to that rubric and look and see what we need. So we need a theme or aesthetic that fits your project. Great, done. We need a home page. We need a page to document our experiences, and we need a page for our research. Those are the only 3 pages that we need, and those are the only 3 pages I want on your website, just so that it's easier for me to find everything. So we've got our home page, and we're going to first just go through and rename these. So you'll go up to pages. So I'm going to delete this portfolio one because I don't need it. Boom. So I've got my home page, gallery, so I'm going to rename this one to I'm going to call it My Story. I gave some options in the rubric. You can call it My Story, you can call it My Journey, My Experience, or documenting the journey. You could call it a blog, anything like that, but just something that makes it clear that this is your story. So, and then this one I'm going to rename to research, so that it's the research page. So I've got my 3 pages. Boom, easy. So just notice you double click on it to change the name of it. That's how you change the name on Jimdo, and you do that by clicking on pages. So you can't change it from here. If you click on that, it's not going to do anything. You click pages and then double click to change the name. So now let's go back to the rubric. So on our homepage, we need the title of the project. It can be the change, it can be the happiness project, it can be something specific to your project. You need your goal clearly stated and a visual aid. So we're going to go to the home page. Oh, I'm done with that. I'll go to the home page. And I'm just going to type it right in here what I want it to be. So I'm going to call mine, it's going to, whoa, what just happened? I'm going to Control Z. I'm going to call it My Happiness Project. And I'm spreading empathy. So now I'll put in my specific goal. And it's going to be, I will get approval, create curriculum, and generate interest for an empathy and social justice book club by April 2021, so that the club can start the next school year. So I will get approval, create curriculum, and generate interest for an empathy and social justice book club by April 2021. So I say that again because look, you know exactly the 3 things I'm doing and when I'm doing them by, which is April 2021. And you know why I'm doing it, because I want to start a book club at the school next fall. So it's really specific. And this, I will not grade your website unless everything is up to par. So it's basically a 0 or full credit. You can keep resubmitting it until it's perfect, but your goal, I gave you some feedback already on your goal, but make sure it's this specific and make sure you say April 2021 or I will not grade it and you'll have to just keep resubmitting it. So, and then I'm actually going to keep this photo for now because it's books, it relates. As long as your photo, if it's a stock photo that already relates to what you're doing, great. I will probably change it as I start collecting photos of me doing my project because then I can personalize it more. But for now, I don't really have any photos. So I'm just going to leave it like this for now. Go to this block because these are not really necessary. I've got my home page. And let's see. Okay, so, and you can see it has this extra stuff on the home page. I'm just going to ignore that for now and go on to the other 2 pages to get what I need. So the page needs to be titled something like My Story, My Journey, whatever. We've got that done. So we need our introductory story that we wrote and entered as the first entry, and then 1 photo, whether it's when you took or a stock photo. So that's all we need on this page. So we'll go to this page. And so I'm going to keep these stock photos for now. Again, I might go back and change them once I have more photos, but because for now I don't. So I'm going to add a block, and it is going to be text. And so I'm going to go just pick a format. Let's see, I'm going to do, it's just like 1 story. So it's the story you type on the next assignment. So go do that. You'll type that there and then just copy and paste it onto here. I like this one. We're just going to do that. So I'm going to call this Why I'm Starting. Why I Care. I'm going to call this Why I Care. You can call it Starting Your Journey. You can call it the beginning of your journey. You can call it, what I'm doing this. The only thing is, as you'll know in your story, you cannot write a story about that. So then I will type why, you will put your starting the story paragraph here. So you'll type that in the next module or next assignment on Canvas, and then you'll just copy and paste that in here. You can keep the stock photos if they relate. Since mine kind of does because it's about books, I'm going to keep it. But if it weren't thematically right, I would change it. So like if I want to change it, you can click choose image. You can go from Jimdo. I can upload from my computer. You can go from social media if you connect with an account. So these are just like stock photos. There's a lot of different options. So for now, I'm just going to keep these because they do work. So that's where I'll put my paragraph. And on the rubric, that's all I need. And then a page for my research. So This page can be titled Research or whatever you think will be best. And then one source of information that inspired you in creating your action plan for this project. It can be just a link, a paragraph of title, what it was, anything that'll help you keep track of it and revisit it in the future. So on my, on my website. So now I'm going to go to the research page, and I need to change it because it is not the gallery. Oh, I need to go do that on this one too. And I'll call it My Story. Research. So you don't have to have a photo on this one. This one you really just need a running list of resources, and then we'll turn it into something better later, but this will just help you keep track for now. So we're gonna go text, and I'm gonna make it like this. So I'm just gonna change it to source 1. And then I'm going to put, so one source that I have for this is a TED Talk. Empathy is not an endorsement. This video is part of my research, so I'm going to copy link address. I'm going to put it in here and just summarize this source talked about what empathy is, why we build it, and how, so that way I remember what it's about. So that way you can just keep track. When I find a second source, I'll just put that in here. And again, once we like really get into our research and finish it, we'll polish this page and it will look a lot better. So delete anything that's in the template that you're not going to use. I'm not going to use that. I'm not going to use this chalk photo. Maybe I'll change it to let's see. Yeah, I don't think any of these will work. So I'm just going to delete this picture too. If it will let me. So I'll click on it, and then I'll click on these 3 dots and click delete block. So that whole block's gone because I don't need it. So I've just got source 1, and then this is, I'll call it source 2. But I will just delete that for now. So what you have so far is not necessarily a pretty website, but you've got one post with a photo. You've got a home page that has a photo, a title, and your goal. I am going to say, so for now, delete these extra blocks because it will just be simpler this way. I am going to keep this, and I'm going to put I'm going to restate my goal just in case it's harder to read. Okay, so I've got my homepage, my story, research, all done. My title, my goal is on here. And then on the pages, I've hit the rubric. I've got my story, I've got an image, and then I decided to call it Why I Care. You can call it whatever. And then this is where you'll put your paragraph once you have it. You'll insert it right here on this My Story page as your first post. And then I've got one source that I'm using as a resource for this project, and I just called it source 1. It's ugly, but it's here. So I've got all the parts on the rubric. Once you're at that point, you'll hit publish. Great. And then this is your link. So you'll click that and it'll go to the link. It'll say, do you want your own domain? Say no, because it costs money. So accept, and now you've got your website, and you'll copy it, and you will submit this link on Canvas under, so you've got the assignment where you start your paragraph, and then you've got the assignment where you actually submit the website, and you'll do it on that second one. So this is the link you are submitting.